Yeah, it does look a little gross. The more this goes on, the more I'm halfway between a samurai and samurai sauce. Fusion? No, actually, seriously, it looks more like between a samurai and a koala. Fusion? No. At the start of the end of lockdown, I heard news that left me speechless. Boon, the guy with the northern accent and always in his raincoat, Abbilut, plans to make a movie about the lockdown. More specifically, about the story of an apartment building, probably in Paris during the lockdown, and then I thought, like many others, I imagine, what a genius. Where does he get these wildly original ideas from? I'm an observer. What do you want? Are you okay? I'd add that Dany Boon hasn't lived in France for a while, but splits his time between beautiful homes in Los Angeles and Belgium. And it was in Belgium, in a huge property, that he was confined. So I suspect his film will be full of clichés and stereotypes about one, a subject ultimately that he only understands through the media prism of social networks. All that. Let me quickly set the scene for you. It's a real bombshell. A Parisian apartment, everyone passes by but no one talks. Just a typical Parisian building. Then the lockdown begins. The main character should be an older white man, racist and reactionary, who dislikes everyone, especially the Muslim family across the hall. A widowed woman with 5 children, no, 7 children. And why are they there? They're there because of the death of their, otherwise, Muslims, At the building's bottom is a Chinese restaurant. We're in Paris, so that's normal, but it's about to go bankrupt. It's getting worse due to the lockdown. With so many old people around, nobody visits. An impossible love story between the racist daughter and the Chinese son of the restaurant owner, and everything goes wrong. Gradually, everyone helps each other. Residents care for the elderly, and Muslims save the racist from a stroke. With help from the Chinese son, who is studying medicine while also helping in his parents' restaurant. Surprised you, didn't I? The racist, after being saved, finally opens up. Guess what he does next? He lets his daughter live her life and saves the restaurant with money hidden under the mattress. Yeah, all sprinkled with a few Twitter jokes that I wrote down. That's it, we're good. A year later, we see them at a yard party with neighbors, showing everything has changed. The racist guy, he ended up with the Muslim mom. Happiness, right? I'm telling you, with this, we'll easily get funding from the CNC and I'll pocket a little fee of 10 million. No worries, the royalties come easily. He probably writes movies just like his sketches.
I'll explain to you how I write my sketches. Actually, there's no secret. I don't deserve any credit. Things happen to me in life. I write them down, I learn them, I tell them to you, and you laugh.
Boon, he's from the north. It's hard not to know that, and it made me think of another famous guy from the north, Norman Belut. And I wondered, what's going on with him? Did he stop making videos? No, because one of the few advantages of the new YouTube algorithm is that it only suggests what you actually watch. So for me, and I guess for you too, there are a lot of guys whose videos used to be suggested to me all the time, and now they've completely disappeared. Oh, but what if I'm one of them? Honestly, Norman was okay, but there was a bunch of crap I'm really glad I don't have to see anymore. I can almost convince myself it no longer exists. Hey, save our souls, it's pretty dark here. In a way, I've eradicated the cancer, at least in my world. So I went to check if Norman is still making videos. Well, he's still making videos. In incognito mode, I'm always careful, and I wasn't disappointed. I'll give you the topics: lockdown, stay at home, lockdown 2 reopening, and the ultimate originality. I watched many series during lockdown, even while confined. Some videos he couldn't write alone. Kader Aoun, for those unaware, was exposed by Copy Comics as a major plagiarist. Wow. Ooh! Is it? That's not really how clichés form, is it? No, because the 2 most famous cheaties to be cheaty are both opportunists, choosing the easy way by resting on their laurels. So, are cheaties really like that?
The traitors are here, aren't they?
Subtitles by Jeremy Diaz. Want a video about being cheaty? Retweet if yes, Belut. It's an old video, but it's the last one I saw from him. Yeah, I was getting less and less into it. Between taking the easy way and chasing trending topics, I didn't like it anymore. You can see everything coming from miles away, including all the jokes and when they'll happen. Honestly, I think he uses the same script tricks as Dany Boon, so I stopped watching his videos a month ago. So the most searched words on Google right now, already done. Oh, that's true, I wanted to do the shitties, but I'm not sure it's okay. I'll check with Twitter first. I'm not going to reanalyze the videos since nobody cares, and it's just an excuse to discuss something else. Now I know you figured it out.
No.
I'm gonna talk about clichés.
What's great is that we, the Chittis in France, really have a very classy image.
Wrong! In summary, Norman is going to spend his time saying that the clichés about the Chittis are not justified.
Let's just say that, for a lot of people in France, a Chitty is an inbred eater with a mullet haircut named Dylan, fan. Unemployed racist RCL supporter with Johnny tattoos, who only eats at food stands. Alfred, and who has already appeared 3 times on the show Confessions in Times. All of that is completely false, Mathieu, but...
While playing his video, we actually confirmed quite a few things. For example, that the Chitty dialect, well, it sounds tacky and it's anything but sexy. Or also my...
grandparents were coal miners, working underground, and the color of my skin is the same as that of an endive.
He also confirms many popular first names are seen as tacky among the Chitties.
My father's typical Chitty name is Jackie.
Even going so far as to make mistakes. Say.
Maybe it's my American first name, but, well, okay, I have no argument.
Yes, because Norman is more Germanic or Scandinavian, but I think that's on purpose. It must be to set up the joke. When he tries to contradict a stereotype, let's just say it doesn't work. For example, about the so-called cultural desert that is the North, which...
What did we visit in Lens? Well, there's something a bit further to visit in Lens. It's Lille.
It's funny because it reinforces the cliché. And when he wants to tell us that it doesn't have any reason to exist, he only manages to give us one poor little example. It's better not to list them if there's only one.
There's an annex of the Louvre, the real one from Paris. I don't know why it's there, but it is.
So you should know that Hauts-de-France really was a cultural desert. And this is an effort to fix that. It's thanks to the region's politicians that they were able to get this annex of the Louvre. And among other things, for example, the cultural development of the mining history of the North.
It's a cultural geyser. With Eel 3000 Main Square Festival in Arras, Dunkirk Carnival, Lille Braderie, and Strasbourg Christmas Market. But well, that's in Strasbourg.
This list ending with that joke still reinforces the idea that there's not much, especially since a braderie is still a...
Braderie. Sure.
The region is developing, but
This
clichés like all the...
clichés, it comes from somewhere.
Even when things are from the past, they take time to become outdated. Alcoholic, for example. Hey, you have to admit they weave well in the North, it comes from somewhere. And the high unemployment rate has something to do with it, because it gives you time to really devote yourself to your passion, right?
She's really good too, but...
That doesn't mean it's not spreading across France. When we went on vacation, it always ended up in a competition, either against guys from the North, or Bretons, or people from the Jura. But well, it was always Beaujolais that won. Hey, let's make a bet! If you're interested in understanding them, stereotypes often deserve to be put into context. Well, for example, Parisians, often rude and always sulking. Well, that comes from the fact that they have a crappy life, spending a big part of their lives telling themselves they'd be better off somewhere else. Yeah, well, once again, not all of them. For many, money is worth much more than happiness, even if it doesn't bring it.
Me, for example, I'm Chitty and I don't fit any of those criteria.
It's possible. A stereotype isn't just a generalization. For example, people say black people are fast runners and have certain physical traits. And when you watch the track finals and porn movies, you realize there's some truth to it. But it's not a generalization. It's not me, Manuela, with my clubfoot who'll say otherwise. I'm not alone. Right, Stevie? Norman complains about stereotypes, saying they're not absolute truths. But everyone knows that. That's the point. No, I don't know. For example, do you think French people are always drinking red wine and eating cheese?
There are some who don't even like it, on top of that.
Proportionally, we consume and produce more cheese and wine than other places. Maybe that was more true yesterday than today. Some people don't know what they're missing.
Damn, the line.
He always does the same thing. Just in this episode, you just have to look at his injury.
I had Robin delete a brief Polo Hawk post.
They're not all like that, the hipsters. We know it's a forced caricature, but still we admit there's some truth to it. He maintains stereotypes about the Chittis and only seems unbothered when they're positive.
So we have a people full of resources known for our warmth.
Well, you probably know the phrase made famous by Welcome to the Sticks.
A stranger who comes to live in the North cries twice, when he arrives and when he leaves.
People, the warmest at football, launch best fans in France. That has to come from somewhere after all. But there are certainly some cold, withdrawn idiots in the North, just like everywhere. And when Norman tells us that everyone in the North has the skin color of a...
Belgian endive.
But we know that's not a general rule. Here's proof. In the North, there are plenty of migrants. Maybe I shouldn't keep that one. And about being welcoming, I have a friend in the village who's from there. Well, every time he prefers Beaujolais. Yeah, it's true.
No,
Come on, no.
I can't say that.
Come on, that...
We'll make...
It's cliche, but I'm here for the job. It's a tie. Alright, then let's toast. Okay.
Well, who thought you were here for online?
Ha ha! To conclude and support his speech, Norman brings out something for us.
The Cheaties aren't necessarily just fans of tuning or the touches, right? And you might even know some of them. Obviously, Dany Boon.
Dany Boon. Dany Boon. He's still the guy who spread the most cliches about the chatties. For someone from my generation, he taught me everything, right? In his sketches, he mostly played dumb, tacky, and alcoholic chitties.
Are you there, baby? Hey, if you're there, come on! Well, what's wrong? Come here, mustache. Come here, come on! RCDS Torcoing. Then we do funny stuff with the car, huh?
Workshop Chief RCDS exits his car, then acts. I swear to you it's true. You're lucky that I'm still here. He
built his whole career on being a chitty, on being a simple Frenchman close to the people. A little. Maybe even a lot, Benet. Both in front of the camera, in the roles he played, and on television sets, in what he was supposed to really be. But he still manages things well behind the scenes. And it's actually exactly the same strategy for Normal. Ha! For Norman! The slip of the tongue! Playing a deliberately simple character, Bennett is gullible, even though he isn't in real life.
Well, I'm getting off track.
But I've always struggled with deceit, especially when it's filled with inconsistency. Like Dany Boon, who always portrays life in the North as happy and filled with genuine, warm people, but who has spent most of the last 10 years in Los Angeles. It's like some young people from the Maghreb who spend their time praising the merits and virtues of life.
In the bled. And they said they'd be moving there soon?
You're kind of annoying, aren't you? Maybe it was more the last generation. But anyway, personally, I refused to get a really good salary by moving to Paris so I could stay here in Beaujolais with a little less than minimum wage. All of that is because it would be inconsistent to think life is better here and not take advantage.
Whereas
We know it's just about belonging. They'll never live there, not even when they visit on vacation. Well, for the locals, they're just damn tourists and as respectful as the others. Oh, but leave properly with your mouth, son of up there. But why is he here? Me, I make dishes and don't mess things up. And sometimes it's risky. With a hasty judgment, one might think, thanks to our two celebrities, that the chitties are seemingly simple and plain on the outside, but slightly cunning, manipulative, and opportunistic on the inside. But no, the chitties are here. Yes, no, not all, but the chitties are very welcoming and joyful, because they generally have a simple and happy life. And they have both qualities and flaws, which match their way of life, just like everywhere else in the world. No, but they're actually really good. That was delicious. I love it. It goes down so easily, but that sneaky, opportunistic side is something they picked up in Paris. And the promise of profit given to those who become what they own, not who they once were. Because the most important thing, when you become rich, is to never forget who you were and what you wanted to do with your life before you became rich. Very nice phrase, but, well, I was born rich, so since I've already found myself, I don't need to go searching. Haha, found myself. No, but seriously, you can't do this to me. After such a deep moment, I don't care, that's not us. To conclude, clichés come from what we offer to the world. So yes, they're exaggerated, sometimes outdated or just mean, but I think it's a good thing to accept them, to live with them. Often, trying too hard to fight them only reinforces them. In any case, Norman's video, in my opinion, actually reinforced them. It's a failure, and at worst, if you don't like them, just remember that it's more through actions than words that we can slowly deconstruct or reinforce them. No, but I'm sure we're worth more than you in Beaujolais. But it has to be. Stop it. You're talking nonsense. You don't even realize it. Us, in the North, we put away cases, everything said, we go all out. Oh yeah? Well, listen, we'll see about that. Okay? But then we play with the adult model. Come on!
Let's go.
PARADOXA. Turn down the music. Think about people listening with headphones. If you enjoyed this, there are 11 more PARADOXA episodes. I especially recommend my video Modern Slavery. A lot of you are missing out on it, and yet I think it's worth it. In any case, I'm proud of the result. As always, thank you to the supporters. It's because of you I'm still here even when I'm in the dark.
Oh, but I'm here, down here.